The golden desert meets the sparkling sea, where ancient traditions exist alongside futuristic skyscrapers, and where every corner hides a story waiting to be discovered. Welcome to Qatar, a nation of contrasts, where time seems to flow both slowly and rapidly, blending history, culture, and modernity into an experience unlike any other. From bustling markets echoing with centuries-old trade, to quiet dunes that stretch beyond the horizon, from hidden mangroves teeming with life to architectural marvels that pierce the skyline, Qatar is a journey for all senses. In this documentary, we're not just exploring a country, we're uncovering its soul, its secrets, and its extraordinary beauty. Stay with us, because what you're about to see will challenge everything you thought you knew about this desert nation and reveal wonders you never imagined existed. What if one of the world's most powerful nations began as nothing more than sand, sea, and survival? What if a land shaped by scorching sun and endless desert could rise to become a global symbol of ambition, wealth, and vision in less than a century? This is Qatar, a country where the past and future collide in extraordinary ways, and where every grain of sand carries a story of transformation. Long before skyscrapers pierced the skyline and luxury defined the landscape, Qatar was a land of resilience. Life here revolved around the desert and the sea. The climate was harsh, water was scarce, and survival demanded strength, unity, and deep respect for nature. Early communities depended on fishing, trade, and pearl diving, a dangerous profession that sent men deep into the Arabian Gulf, risking their lives for treasures hidden beneath the water's surface. Pearls were once Qatar's greatest wealth, connecting this small peninsula to markets across the world. The desert shaped the character of its people. Bedouin tribes moved across the land, guided by stars and instinct, living in harmony with an environment that offered little mercy. Hospitality became sacred, loyalty became survival, and honor defined identity. Even today, these values remain deeply woven into Qatari culture, quietly guiding a nation that now moves at remarkable speed. Everything changed in the 20th century with the discovery of oil and natural gas. Beneath the same desert that once symbolized hardship lay unimaginable resources. Qatar's natural gas reserves would eventually become among the largest in the world, transforming the country's future almost overnight. But wealth alone does not build a nation, vision does. Qatar's leaders made a deliberate choice to invest not only in infrastructure, but in people, education, culture, and global connection. What makes Qatar's rise truly remarkable is not how fast it happened, but how carefully it was shaped. Instead of abandoning its roots, Qatar carried them forward. Traditions were preserved alongside modern development. Mosques rose near glass towers. Ancient markets survived beside luxury malls. The call to prayer still echoes through cities filled with cutting-edge technology. This balance between tradition and progress defines Qatar's identity. Geographically, Qatar is small, but its influence reaches far beyond its borders. Positioned between East and West, it became a bridge for trade, diplomacy, and dialogue. Through global media, international sports, education hubs, and cultural institutions, Qatar introduced itself to the world, not as a follower, but as a leader with a distinct voice. The desert remains at the heart of Qatar's story. Vast, silent, and powerful, it serves as a reminder of where everything began. At sunrise, dunes glow gold. At sunset, they burn amber and red. In the stillness, time feels suspended, offering perspective in a world driven by speed. This land teaches patience, a quality that helped shape Qatar's long-term vision. Qatar's transformation was never about replacing the past. It was about elevating it. The nation honors its heritage through architecture, storytelling, and daily life. Traditional clothing is worn with pride. Family bonds remain strong. Respect for elders, faith, and community continues to guide society. Progress here does not erase identity, it strengthens it. In just a few generations, Qatar has rewritten its destiny. From pearl divers to global decision makers, from desert camps to futuristic cities, the journey is nothing short of extraordinary. Yet, beneath the modern image lies the same spirit that once faced the desert with courage and determination. This is the foundation of Qatar's wonders, a story of resilience, foresight, and balance. a nation that rose from sand without forgetting its roots. As this journey unfolds, one truth becomes clear. To understand Qatar, you must look beyond the skyline and into the story that shaped it. And this is only the beginning. What if a city could rise from the desert and redefine what the future looks like? What if tradition and innovation didn't compete, but instead moved forward side by side? Welcome to Doha, the beating heart of Qatar, a city that tells the story of ambition, identity, and reinvention with every step along its shores. Doha was once a quiet coastal settlement, a modest town where fishermen and pearl divers lived simple lives guided by the rhythm of the sea. Wooden boats lined the shore, and the horizon stretched endlessly into the Gulf. Life moved slowly, shaped by tides, trade winds, and the shared struggle of survival. Today, that same shoreline reflects a skyline of glass and steel, glowing against the desert sky like a vision pulled from the future. The transformation of Doha is one of the most striking urban evolutions in the modern world. In just a few decades, the city expanded from humble beginnings into a global capital. Skyscrapers now curve and twist along West Bay, each building more daring than the last, designed not only to impress but to symbolize confidence. At night, the city comes alive in light towers, shimmer, roads glow, and the skyline mirrors itself across the calm waters of the Corniche. Yet Doha is not just about height or luxury. What makes the city truly special is how deeply it respects its soul. Walk through the streets, and you'll feel the coexistence of past and present. Traditional architecture inspires modern designs. Islamic patterns flow across contemporary facades. Mosques stand peacefully among business districts, their minarets rising with quiet dignity. The Corniche is the city's heartbeat, a sweeping waterfront promenade where locals and visitors gather. Families stroll at sunset. Joggers trace the curve of the bay, and traditional wooden dows float gently offshore, reminders of a maritime past that still defines Qatar's identity. From here, the city reveals its dual nature, calm and powerful, elegant and grounded. Doha is also a city of ideas. It has positioned itself as a center for diplomacy, education, and global dialogue. Universities from around the world have found a home here, bringing diverse perspectives into the desert. Conferences, summits, and cultural exchanges take place year-round, transforming Doha into a meeting point for nations and minds. Despite its rapid growth, Doha remains deeply personal. Neighborhoods still revolve around family life. Markets buzz with conversation. Cafes blend modern style with Arabic hospitality. The scent of spices drifts through streets, mixing with sea, air, and city energy. This balance keeps the city human, even as it reaches for the extraordinary. Perhaps the most powerful aspect of Doha is its vision. The city was not built by accident. Every district, every project reflects long-term planning, a desire to create not just wealth, but sustainability, culture, and quality of life. Parks, museums, and public spaces invite reflection in a city that could easily become overwhelming, yet chooses harmony instead. As the sun sets over Doha, the sky burns orange and purple, and the city pauses. Calls to prayer echo softly across the skyline, grounding the modern world in timeless faith. It's in this moment that Doha reveals its true magic, a city racing toward the future while standing firmly on the foundation of its past. Doha is more than Qatar's capital. It is a symbol of what happens when vision meets discipline, when heritage guides innovation. And as the lights of the city fade into the night, one thing becomes clear. This is not just a city to visit, it is a city to witness. What if the past was not locked behind glass, but alive in the streets you walk, the voices you hear, and the stones beneath your feet? In Qatar, history is not hidden. It is preserved, celebrated, and woven into everyday life. To understand this nation, you must step into its cultural heart, where memory and meaning shape the present. Long before oil transformed the land, Qatar's identity was forged through survival. Harsh deserts, limited water, and an unforgiving climate demanded resilience. Communities relied on one another, bound by family, faith, and tradition. These values remain the backbone of Qatari society, and nowhere is this more visible than in the places where culture is protected and shared. Souq Waqif stands as a living echo of old Doha. Unlike modern malls and towers, this marketplace breathes history. Narrow alleys wind between mud-plastered walls, wooden beams stretch overhead, and the air is filled with the scent of spices, incense, and freshly brewed tea. Merchants call out with warmth, not urgency. Conversations flow easily, as they have for generations. Here, time slows down. The souk is more than a place to shop. It is a social space, a cultural stage. Traditional garments hang beside handcrafted jewelry. Falcon shops reflect a deep-rooted heritage, where the bond between human and bird symbolizes pride and patience. Coffee is poured with ceremony, dates offered with respect. Every gesture tells a story of hospitality that defines Qatari life. Beyond the markets, Qatar's museums serve as guardians of memory. They do not simply display artifacts, they tell narratives. Stories of pearl divers who risked their lives for survival. Stories of Bedouin families navigating endless dunes guided by stars and instinct. Stories of trade routes that connected Qatar to distant lands, shaping its openness to the world. Architecture itself becomes a storyteller. Traditional Qatari homes were designed for climate and community, thick walls for cooling, courtyards for family life, wind towers to capture breezes. Today, these elements inspire modern buildings, proving that progress does not erase tradition, but evolves from it. Faith plays a quiet, yet powerful role in shaping culture. Mosques are not only places of prayer, but centers of reflection and unity. The call to prayer marks the rhythm of the day, reminding people to pause, to reconnect, to remain grounded. This spiritual presence gives Qatar a sense of calm that contrasts beautifully with its rapid development. Art and poetry also flow through Qatar's cultural veins. Oral storytelling once passed wisdom from elders to youth. Today, that tradition continues through literature, visual art, and performance. Festivals, exhibitions, and cultural programs ensure that heritage is not frozen in the past, but passed forward with pride. What makes Qatar's culture truly remarkable is its confidence. It does not fear change, nor does it abandon its roots. Instead, it chooses balance. Modern influences are welcomed, but identity remains clear. Visitors are invited not just to observe, but to understand, to listen, to share, to connect. As night falls and lanterns glow in the souk, laughter echoes through the alleys. The past feels close, not distant. In these moments, you realize that Qatar's greatest treasure is not oil or architecture. It is memory, preserved with intention and respect. This is a nation that knows where it comes from, and because of that, it knows exactly where it is going. What if luxury was not about excess, but about vision? In Qatar, modern architecture does more than impress the eye. It tells a story of ambition, identity, and a future imagined with purpose. This is a country that chose not to simply grow, but to design its destiny. Rising from the desert, Doha's skyline feels almost unreal. Towers curve like sails, shimmer like mirages, and stand as symbols of confidence. Each structure reflects a nation that moved rapidly into the modern world, yet refused to lose its soul along the way. Glass and steel dominate the horizon, but beneath them lies deep cultural intention. West Bay is the most striking expression of this transformation. Here, skyscrapers cluster along the waterfront, their reflections dancing across the Arabian Gulf. By day, the city gleams under the sun. By night, it becomes a constellation of light, glowing with energy and possibility. This district is not just a financial center, it is a statement that Qatar has arrived on the global stage. Yet, what makes Qatari architecture truly remarkable is how tradition is embedded within innovation. Modern buildings borrow from ancient designs, geometric patterns inspired by Islamic art, shaded walkways echoing old courtyards, and forms that respect climate and environment. Even the most futuristic towers carry whispers of the past. The Museum of Islamic Art stands as a perfect example of this balance. Designed with clean lines and powerful simplicity, it feels timeless rather than modern. Rising from the water like a fortress of knowledge, it commands attention without demanding it. Inside, centuries of Islamic civilization unfold through art, science, and craftsmanship, reminding visitors that progress has always been part of this culture. Education City represents another bold vision, one where architecture supports the future of the mind. World-class universities, research centers, and innovation hubs are spread across beautifully planned campuses. These spaces are designed not only for learning, but for collaboration, creativity, and global dialogue. Qatar invests in ideas as much as infrastructure. Lusail City pushes this vision even further. Built almost entirely from the ground up, it represents the Qatar of tomorrow. Smart systems, sustainable planning, and human-centered design come together to form a city that anticipates future needs. It is not just about scale, it is about intelligence. Public spaces also reveal Qatar's architectural philosophy. Corniches, parks, and promenades invite people to gather, walk, and reflect. The Doha Corniche curves gracefully along the coast, offering uninterrupted views of the skyline and the sea. Here, families stroll, joggers pass silently, and the city breathes. Even transportation hubs are treated as landmarks. Metro stations are sleek, efficient, and thoughtfully designed, turning everyday movement into an experience. This attention to detail reflects a belief that beauty should exist in function, not just spectacle. What sets Qatar apart is its refusal to imitate blindly. While it embraces global influences, it reshapes them through local identity. Architecture becomes a language, one that speaks of confidence, clarity, and control over change. As the sun sets and buildings glow against the darkening sky, Doha feels alive with quiet power. It is a city that does not rush to impress because it knows its strength. In Qatar, the future is not something that happens, it is something carefully built, one visionary structure at a time. Beyond the towers and highways, beyond the museums and modern cities, Qatar reveals a quieter, deeper wonder: the desert. Vast, timeless, and endlessly powerful, the Qatari desert is not empty land. It is a living landscape where nature, culture, and survival have shaped identity for centuries. The journey into the desert feels like crossing into another world. As the city fades behind, the land opens into rolling dunes that stretch endlessly under the sky. The sand shifts in shades of gold, amber, and deep red, changing color with every movement of the sun. Here, silence is not absence, it is presence. The inland sea, known locally as Khor Al Adaid, is one of Qatar's greatest natural treasures. It is one of the few places on Earth where the desert meets the sea. Massive dunes slide directly into calm blue waters, creating a surreal contrast that feels almost unreal. Recognized as a UNESCO natural reserve, this area is protected not only for its beauty, but for its rare ecosystem. Driving across the dunes is an experience unlike any other. Vehicles climb steep sand walls, pause at the edge, and descend with controlled intensity. The thrill is matched by awe, as every crest reveals a new horizon. This is not just adventure, it is respect for a landscape that demands skill and humility. As daylight softens, the desert transforms. The heat fades, shadows grow longer, and the sky becomes a canvas of color. Sunset in the Qatari desert is a moment of stillness, where time seems to slow. The sun sinks into the dunes, and the land glows as if lit from within. When night arrives, the desert reveals its most magical side. Far from city lights, the stars emerge in breathtaking clarity. The sky stretches endlessly, filled with constellations that guided travelers long before modern navigation. Sitting beneath this vast universe, one feels both small and deeply connected. Traditional desert camps offer a glimpse into Bedouin heritage. Low tents, woven carpets, and warm lantern light recreate a way of life built on resilience and hospitality. Stories are shared, tea is poured, and the rhythm of the desert becomes personal. This is where Qatar's roots remain strongest. Camels, once essential for survival, still walk these lands. They symbolize endurance and partnership between humans and nature. Watching them move across the dunes is like witnessing history still alive, still breathing. The desert also teaches balance. Life here exists carefully. Plants adapt, animals hide and emerge at the right moment, and every resource is valued. It is a reminder that prosperity does not erase dependence on nature, it deepens responsibility toward it. In Qatar, the desert is not a backdrop. It is a teacher, a guardian, and a constant presence. While cities rise and technology advances, the dunes remain unchanged, watching over generations. Standing alone among the sands, with wind shaping the earth and stars lighting the sky, you understand something essential about Qatar. Its strength does not come only from what it builds, but from what it preserves. The desert holds the soul of the nation, vast, enduring, and profoundly beautiful. Water has always shaped life in Qatar, not through rivers or rain, but through the vast, shimmering presence of the Arabian Gulf. Along its coastline, Qatar reveals a different kind of wonder, where the rhythm of the sea meets tradition, leisure, and modern elegance. The first glimpse of the Gulf is unforgettable. Calm blue waters stretch toward the horizon, reflecting the sky in endless motion. The sea feels gentle here, almost welcoming, a contrast to the power of the desert beyond. For centuries, these waters were the lifeline of the people, providing food, trade, and connection to the wider world. Long before oil transformed the nation, pearl diving defined Qatar's relationship with the sea. Brave divers once plunged into these waters, guided only by breath and instinct, searching for pearls that would travel across continents. Their legacy remains alive in stories, museums, and coastal traditions that honor their courage and sacrifice. Today, the coastline blends heritage with modern leisure. Traditional wooden dhow boats still glide across the water, their silhouettes unchanged by time. At the same moment, luxury yachts pass quietly, representing the evolution of maritime life. Old and new coexist without conflict, each adding depth to the other. Katara Beach is a perfect reflection of this balance. Clean sands, clear waters, and carefully designed spaces invite both relaxation and activity. Families gather, athletes train, and visitors experience the Gulf not as a distant view, but as a living environment. The sea here is not exclusive, it is shared. The Pearl Qatar offers a different coastal experience. Artificial islands curve gracefully into the water, lined with marinas, cafes, and waterfront promenades. Walking here feels like stepping into a vision of modern coastal living, where architecture, lifestyle, and sea views blend seamlessly. Yet even in luxury, the sea remains the true centerpiece. Mangrove forests along the coast reveal a quieter side of Qatar's marine world. These rare ecosystems support birds, fish, and marine life, acting as natural protectors of the shoreline. Kayaking through narrow water paths, surrounded by green roots and still reflections, feels peaceful and intimate, a reminder of nature's quiet strength. Beneath the surface, the Gulf hides another world. Coral formations, fish, and marine habitats thrive in carefully protected areas. While not widely visible, this underwater life is essential to Qatar's environmental future. Conservation efforts ensure that progress does not come at the cost of balance. As evening approaches, the coastline transforms. The sky softens into warm colors, and the water mirrors the fading light. Corniches and promenades fill with people walking slowly, breathing in the sea air. These moments are simple, yet deeply meaningful proof that beauty does not always need grandeur. The sea has taught Qatar patience, courage, and humility. It demanded effort and rewarded resilience. Even today, as technology reshapes daily life, the Gulf remains a constant, steady, generous, and grounding. In Qatar, the story of water is not about abundance, but about connection. It links past to present, nature to people, and tradition to vision. Standing by the shore, watching waves rise and fall, you realize that the sea still speaks and Qatar still listens. To truly understand Qatar, one must listen to its heartbeat, found not in skyscrapers or highways, but in its traditions, people, and everyday rituals that continue to shape national identity. Culture in Qatar is not preserved behind glass. It is lived, practiced, and passed forward with pride. Hospitality stands at the center of Qatari life. Welcoming a guest is considered an honor, not a duty. From the moment someone enters a home, they are offered warmth, conversation, and respect. The serving of Arabic coffee, lightly spiced and poured with care, is more than a gesture, it is a symbol of trust and connection. Traditional clothing reflects both identity and practicality. The flowing white thobe worn by men offers comfort in the desert heat, while women's elegant abayas represent grace, dignity, and cultural values. These garments are not costumes for special occasions. They are expressions of daily life, blending tradition with modern style. Souks play a vital role in cultural continuity. Wandering through their narrow paths, the air filled with the scent of spices and incense, you feel history unfolding around you. Craftsmen work with practiced hands, selling textiles, perfumes, jewelry, and handmade goods. These markets are places of exchange not only of products, but of stories and relationships. Music and poetry hold deep roots in Qatari heritage. Traditional songs often tell tales of the sea, the desert, and the endurance of ancestors. Rhythms echo the movement of waves or the steady pace of camels across sand. Poetry, recited with emotion and precision, remains a respected art form, capturing pride, love, and memory. Falconry is one of the most revered traditions in Qatar. Falcons are trained with patience and care, forming a bond between bird and handler that reflects trust and discipline. This practice, once essential for survival, has become a cultural symbol of honor and skill, celebrated through festivals and competitions. Family remains the foundation of society. Respect for elders, strong kinship bonds, and shared responsibility guide daily life. Celebrations, meals, and decisions are often collective, reinforcing unity and belonging. In a rapidly changing world, these values provide stability. Religious traditions shape rhythm and reflection. The call to prayer echoes across cities and deserts alike, gently pausing daily activity and inviting mindfulness. Mosques serve not only as places of worship, but as centers of community, learning, and reflection. What makes Qatari culture remarkable is its adaptability. While global influences are present, they do not erase local identity. Instead, they are filtered through values that emphasize respect, balance, and continuity. Progress is welcomed, but roots remain firmly planted. Cultural festivals and national celebrations bring these traditions into public view. Music, dance, food, and storytelling fill open spaces, allowing both citizens and visitors to share in the experience. These moments strengthen pride and mutual understanding. In Qatar, culture is not something left behind in the past. It moves forward with intention, carried by people who understand where they come from and where they are going. It is this living heritage, quiet, confident, and enduring, that gives the nation its true character. In Qatar, the future is not a distant dream. It is a carefully planned journey unfolding in the present. Beyond tradition and heritage, the nation reveals another remarkable dimension: innovation. Technology, sustainability, and vision combine to shape a country determined to lead responsibly in a rapidly changing world. Sustainability lies at the heart of Qatar's modern development. In a land defined by desert and sea, protecting natural resources is not optional, it is essential. Urban planning emphasizes energy efficiency, smart design, and harmony with the environment. Buildings are designed to reduce heat, conserve water, and minimize environmental impact, reflecting respect for the land that sustains them. Renewable energy initiatives signal a shift toward long-term balance. Solar power projects harness abundant sunlight, transforming it into clean energy. These efforts are not symbolic. They represent a commitment to reducing dependency and building resilience for generations to come. Transportation, innovation, reshapes everyday life. Qatar's metro system connects key districts through efficient, quiet, and elegant design. Stations are more than transit points. They are architectural spaces that prioritize comfort, accessibility, and sustainability. By encouraging public transport, the nation reduces congestion and emissions while improving quality of life. Education and research drive progress forward. Institutions focus on science, technology, medicine, and sustainability, creating an environment where ideas flourish. Young minds are encouraged to innovate, question, and solve real-world challenges. Knowledge becomes the most valuable resource in shaping the future. Smart city concepts redefine urban living. Integrated systems manage energy use, traffic flow, and public services with precision. Technology works quietly in the background, enhancing efficiency without overwhelming daily life. The goal is not complexity, but clarity. A city that responds to human needs. Innovation also reaches healthcare. Advanced medical facilities, research centers, and digital health systems improve access and outcomes. The focus remains on prevention, quality care, and well-being, ensuring that progress serves people first. Even in sustainability, culture remains present. Modern designs draw inspiration from traditional architecture, blending shaded spaces, natural airflow, and community-centered layouts. This fusion proves that innovation does not require abandoning identity, it can strengthen it. Major global events hosted by Qatar showcase its capabilities. Infrastructure, technology, and organization demonstrate readiness to engage with the world while setting new standards for sustainability and efficiency. These moments highlight not only what Qatar can build, but how thoughtfully it builds. What truly defines Qatar's innovation is intention. Progress is not pursued for speed alone, but for meaning. Every advancement is measured against its impact on society, environment, and future generations. As night falls over illuminated cities powered by intelligent systems, Qatar stands as a model of forward-thinking balance. Rooted in tradition, yet guided by vision, the nation moves confidently ahead, proving that the future belongs to those who plan with purpose, respect, and responsibility. Travel in Qatar is not only about landscapes and landmarks, it is also a journey through flavor, tradition, and shared experience. Food here tells stories of the desert, the sea, and the cultures that pass through this land, leaving behind spices, techniques, and memories that still shape the table today. Qatari cuisine is rooted in simplicity and depth. Ingredients are chosen with care, and dishes are built slowly, allowing flavors to develop fully. Rice, meat, spices, and herbs form the foundation, creating meals that are both comforting and celebratory. Food is not rushed, it is respected. One of the most iconic dishes is mashbouz. Fragrant rice infused with spices, paired with tender meat or fish, it represents the heart of local cooking. Each household prepares it slightly differently, adding personal touches passed down through generations. The aroma alone carries a sense of home. The influence of the sea appears in many traditional recipes. Fresh fish, often grilled or spiced gently, reflects the long relationship between Qatar and the Gulf. These dishes are reminders of a time when fishing and pearl diving sustained entire communities. Hospitality is inseparable from food. Meals are shared generously, often served on large platters meant for everyone to enjoy together. Sitting on the floor, eating with the right hand, and sharing from the same dish strengthens bonds and reinforces unity. In Qatar, food brings people closer. Arabic coffee holds special cultural importance. Light in color, delicately flavored with cardamom, it is served in small cups and refilled continuously as a sign of respect. Refusing coffee can feel like declining friendship, while accepting it opens conversation and connection. Sweet flavors also hold a place at the table. Desserts made with dates, honey, and saffron reflect the region's natural resources. These treats are often served during celebrations and gatherings, marking moments of joy and togetherness. Modern Qatar embraces global cuisine while honoring tradition. International restaurants thrive alongside local eateries, offering flavors from around the world. Yet even in fine dining spaces, traditional elements remain present. Spices, presentation, and hospitality reflect local influence. Food markets and street vendors add energy to daily life. The scent of grilled meats, fresh bread, and spices fills the air, inviting exploration. These spaces feel alive, connecting modern life with long-standing culinary habits. Celebrations and festivals elevate food to a communal experience. Large gatherings feature elaborate meals prepared with care and pride. Cooking becomes an act of love, memory, and cultural expression. In Qatar, cuisine is more than nourishment. It is history served on a plate, hospitality offered without words, and culture experienced through taste. Every meal carries meaning, reminding travelers that to know a place truly, one must sit at its table and share in its flavors. Qatar is a country that reveals its magic not only in grand architecture or sweeping deserts, but in the hidden corners where tradition, nature, and community intersect. Beyond the skyscrapers, beyond the museums and luxury districts, lie hidden gems, places that quietly capture the essence of the nation and show a different side of life here, far from the global headlines. One of the most captivating hidden treasures is Thakira Mangroves. Located on the northeast coast, this area is a peaceful labyrinth of waterways and greenery. Unlike the bustling city, the mangroves offer silence, reflection, and intimacy with nature. Kayaking through these calm waters, surrounded by dense mangrove roots and a chorus of bird calls, feels like stepping into another world. Herons, kingfishers, and other wildlife thrive here, making it a haven for those seeking quiet beauty. The mangroves are not just picturesque, they play a vital ecological role, protecting the coastline and sustaining local biodiversity. Another gem is the village of Al Zubara, a UNESCO World Heritage Site that preserves Qatar's rich history. Once a thriving pearl diving and trading hub, Al Zubara is now a window into the past. Its mud brick fort, narrow streets, and old homes tell stories of resilience, commerce, and life in a harsh environment. Walking through Al Zubara, you can almost hear the echoes of traders negotiating, children playing, and the sea calling to a generation whose lives depended on it. In contrast, the inland sea Khor Al Adaid offers a surreal, natural wonder, where the desert meets the sea in a way almost impossible to describe. Towering sand dunes flow directly into turquoise waters, creating a landscape that feels otherworldly. It is accessible only by desert vehicles, adding an element of adventure and exclusivity. The inland sea embodies both danger and beauty, a reminder of the desert's power and the sea's calm, and the delicate balance Qatar has maintained with its environment. Away from the dunes and mangroves, smaller cultural treasures also await. The Falcon Souq, tucked within Doha, reveals a centuries-old tradition still alive today. Falcons, trained for hunting and sport, symbolize nobility, patience, and skill. Watching the interactions between handlers and these majestic birds is both a lesson in respect and a glimpse into a lifestyle that has shaped Qatari identity for generations. It is a world largely invisible to outsiders, but central to the nation's heritage. For those seeking urban serenity, the Pearl Qatar's quieter corners provide a different type of beauty. Beyond the luxury shops and waterfront cafes, you find hidden pathways, peaceful marinas, and quiet spots where the city reflects perfectly in calm waters. It is a place where modern life and nature coexist in harmony. A reminder that even in progress, pockets of tranquility remain vital. Qatar's hidden gems are not always grand or famous, but they reveal the character of a nation that values balance. From ecological sanctuaries to historical sites, from quiet neighborhoods to desert lakes, these places capture what the headlines often miss: the soul of a country. They show that Qatar is not only about wealth or ambition, but about roots, resilience, and respect for the land, people, and traditions that have endured across centuries. In every hidden corner, Qatar invites reflection. You see how history informs the present, how nature coexists with urbanization, and how culture continues to thrive quietly alongside innovation. These treasures are reminders that the true story of a nation is rarely told by what is visible on the surface. It is discovered in the spaces between, in the quiet, in the overlooked, and in the moments that demand patience and presence. As the sun dips toward the horizon, casting golden light over dunes, mangroves, and ancient forts, one truth becomes clear. Qatar's wonders are not only in its grandeur, but in the subtle, hidden places that make the country unforgettable. Here, the journey is not only about seeing, it is about feeling, connecting, and understanding the layers that make Qatar truly extraordinary. Qatar is a land of contrasts, and nowhere is this more evident than in the quiet, overlooked places that reveal the nation's depth and character. Beyond the modern skyline and bustling streets, there exist pockets of discovery, hidden gems where nature, culture, and history converge, giving travelers a chance to experience Qatar in its most authentic form. One such treasure is the Al Wakra Heritage Village. Just a short drive south of Doha, this coastal town combines history, culture, and serenity. Its narrow streets and restored buildings echo a past centered on fishing and trade. Traditional wooden boats line the small harbor, while local artisans display pottery, textiles, and handcrafted goods. Visitors can walk the pathways slowly, inhaling the scent of the sea mixed with the aroma of spices, imagining life as it existed generations ago. The village offers not just sightseeing but immersion, a step back in time that still feels alive. The desert, of course, continues to play a central role in Qatar's hidden wonders. Beyond the famous inland sea, vast stretches of undisturbed dunes await exploration. These areas are quieter, more secluded, and offer moments of solitude that city life cannot provide. Travelers who venture further find sand dunes that shift endlessly with the wind, creating patterns that look as though painted by nature itself. As sunlight moves across the desert, shadows deepen, contours sharpen, and the vastness evokes a sense of both humility and awe. Natural reserves such as the Ras Abruk Peninsula, also known as Bir Zikrit, offer another hidden side of Qatar. Rocky outcrops, unique geological formations, and secluded beaches make this area a photographer's paradise. It is home to rare flora and fauna, where gazelles roam freely and birds of prey glide. Overhead, the landscape feels untouched, as though the modern world has yet to impose itself here. This quiet rawness contrasts sharply with the polished elegance of Doha, revealing a nation that nurtures both urban sophistication and natural wonder. Inland, the villages near Dukhan provide yet another glimpse into Qatar's multifaceted identity. Once the hub of oil exploration, these communities blend history with ongoing development. Visitors can observe how local life integrates work, family, and tradition, offering insight into how Qatar balances modern industry with heritage. It is a reminder that beyond skyscrapers and stadiums, life here is still profoundly human, defined by relationships, routine, and respect for the land. For those drawn to cultural exploration, smaller souks and workshops in neighborhoods like Al Merkab and Al Nazar offer intimate experiences. Here, traditional crafts are not staged for tourists, but remain part of daily life. Carpets are woven, incense burned, and spices ground, all in ways that have persisted for generations. Engaging with artisans allows travelers to witness mastery and motion skills honed over decades, reflecting patience, pride, and cultural continuity. Even in places devoted to leisure, hidden treasures await. Coastal promenades may appear ordinary at first glance, but early mornings reveal fishing families, morning joggers, and local children playing, creating moments of unexpected intimacy. These scenes, fleeting yet powerful, provide authentic insight into Qatari society, far removed from the curated experiences of luxury resorts. Perhaps the most striking feature of these hidden gems is their quiet power. They do not demand attention. They invite reflection. They show that Qatar's identity is not only in what is built, but in what is preserved, in deserts that endure, in mangroves that sustain life, in villages that carry memory, and in cultural practices that continue without interruption. As day fades into evening, the interplay of light and shadow across these hidden places reveals Qatar's true beauty. It is a land that balances ambition with humility, luxury with simplicity, and innovation with tradition. To explore these hidden gems is to witness the layers of a nation, its history, its values, and its vision, all coexisting in harmony. Qatar's hidden wonders remind us that the essence of a place is rarely in what is immediately visible. It is discovered in quiet observation, thoughtful exploration, and a willingness to engage with the land, its people, and its culture. And in these moments, the soul of Qatar becomes undeniable, rich, profound, and unforgettable. Qatar's hidden gems are more than destinations. They are experiences that reveal the soul of the nation. From the shifting desert sands to the calm mangroves, from ancient villages to quiet coastal havens, these places allow visitors to see a side of Qatar that is often overlooked, yet profoundly revealing. They tell a story of balance between past and future, nature and development, tradition and innovation. Al Thakira Mangroves, for example, exemplify this harmony, kayaking through the dense mangrove trees, with roots dipping into calm waters. Visitors encounter a world teeming with life yet untouched by urban rush. Birds soar overhead, fish glide beneath, and the wind whispers through the leaves. It is here that the desert meets the sea in quiet collaboration, a rare ecosystem nurtured with care. The mangroves are not just scenic, they are a vital reminder of Qatar's commitment to preserving its natural treasures, even as cities rise nearby. Inland sea, or Khor Al Adaid, offers another striking example. Accessible only by desert vehicles, it remains one of the few places on Earth where the desert meets the sea so dramatically. Towering dunes roll into turquoise waters, creating an almost surreal landscape. Visitors can climb the dunes, letting the vastness of the desert unfold around them before descending to the water's edge. The experience is thrilling and humbling, a reminder of nature's power and beauty, and of the delicate balance Qatar maintains between human ambition and environmental stewardship. Historical sites like Al Zubara Fort reinforce Qatar's layered identity. Once a thriving pearl diving and trading settlement, Al Zubara is now a UNESCO World Heritage Site, offering insight into the country's past. The mud brick fort, preserved streets, and traditional homes tell a story of resilience and commerce. Walking through this village, one can imagine the lives of traders, fishermen, and families who shaped Qatar long before skyscrapers dominated the horizon. These places anchor the nation, ensuring that progress never erases memory. Even in modern urban spaces, hidden treasures await. The Pearl Qatar, while known for luxury and leisure, holds quiet marinas, intimate promenades, and tranquil corners where the city's energy softens. Early mornings reveal fishermen casting lines, joggers tracing waterfront paths, and families strolling in calm reflection. It is a reminder that even in a city defined by spectacle, stillness and simplicity remain vital. Cultural practices continue to thrive in hidden pockets as well. Falconry, traditional crafts, and artisanal markets allow visitors to engage with Qatari life in ways that go beyond sightseeing. Observing a falconer at work, listening to stories in a souk, or watching skilled hands weave textiles connects one to a heritage that persists quietly alongside modernity. It is through these intimate experiences that Qatar's values patience, respect, and mastery become tangible. The nation's commitment to balance extends to nature, culture, and urban planning. Coastal areas, parks, and reserves are carefully maintained. Desert landscapes are protected. Cultural traditions are preserved. Cities grow, but with spaces for reflection, connection, and community. Even technology and innovation are guided by principles that prioritize sustainability and human well-being. Qatar's hidden gems also highlight the power of perspective. From a dune at sunrise, the city skyline appears distant and small. In a mangrove's calm, the world feels vast yet personal. At Al Zubara, the footprints of history remind visitors of endurance and continuity. Each experience reframes understanding, showing that the true value of a place is not measured by grandeur alone, but by depth and authenticity. As night falls across these hidden corners, the land, sea, and sky align in quiet majesty. Stars emerge over the desert, lanterns glow in coastal villages, and moonlight reflects off calm waters. In these moments, Qatar reveals its full character, a nation that balances ambition with humility, modernity with tradition, and luxury with authenticity. Exploring Qatar's hidden treasures is a journey into the heart of the nation itself. It is in these places that the essence of Qatar, its history, its people, its landscapes, and its vision for the future becomes tangible. The grandeur of the skyline and the opulence of modern life are remarkable, but the soul of Qatar is found in these quieter, often unseen wonders. Here, every dune, every mangrove, every fort, and every quiet street tells a story of resilience, balance, and enduring beauty. Qatar's hidden gems remind us that the most profound experiences often lie beneath the surface. To truly know this nation is to venture beyond the obvious, to listen, observe, and connect. And in doing so, one discovers that Qatar is not simply a place to see, it is a place to feel, a land that leaves a lasting impression long after the journey ends. As the sun sets over the endless dunes, the calm mangroves, and the gleaming city skyline, one thing becomes clear. Qatar is not just a destination, it is an experience, a story of balance, vision, and enduring heritage. Every hidden gem, every cultural tradition, every breathtaking view reminds us that true wonder is found not only in what dazzles the eye, but in what touches the heart. From ancient forts to futuristic cities, from pearl diving legacies to modern innovation, Qatar invites you to explore, to feel, and to connect. And now, as our journey comes to an end, the question remains, will you carry the spirit of this remarkable nation with you and see the world through the lens of discovery, curiosity, and wonder? If this journey inspired you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, because the world is full of hidden wonders, and this is only the beginning of your adventure. Thanks for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed exploring Prague as much as I enjoyed guiding you through it. If you found this travel guide helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more beautiful destinations from around the world. Got a favorite spot in Prague? Drop it in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. Until next time, safe travels, and see you in the next video.